San Diego, California, this is the Frug Life podcast, the show that teaches you how to save, invest, and earn money. Here's the host, Mr. Frugal himself, Ricky Hershey.
Welcome to the Frug Life. Today someone approached me on Twitter, and they had a proposition for me. And I lied, I guess it's called X now. So somebody approached me on X. And they told me, well, first they had some, generic, how are you doing, blah, 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 blah. How's your crypto trading going now? And I linked them an article in my blog that talks about it. And of course, they didn't actually read it, and they don't actually care. What they're trying to do is sell some kind of product. Specifically, here's what they said. Do you know you can make $15,000 daily or weekly directly into your Bitcoin wallet or any withdrawal details you wish to? So what's going on here? Aside from English clearly not being their first language, what is this? And I can tell you very quickly what it is. It's a scam. They're looking to get my money, right? So what they do is they say that if you invest with this certain platform, you'll get these crazy returns. You'll put the money on the platform and you'll never see the money again. And maybe for a little while, they'll keep up a charade and show you how much money your money is worth now. And it will grow exponentially every day until it's a ridiculous sum of money and you try to withdraw it and it's all gone. Maybe you won't even go on that long. Now, how can I know something is a scam, a fraud, without even knowing any of the details about it? Well, it's pretty simple, right? First, he doesn't even ask me about how much money I'm going to invest, right? How this $15,000 daily or weekly. There's no context behind it, right? How much money do I need to put up to do that? So the absence of details or any context is a red flag. But also just the amount of money, $15,000 daily. $15,000 daily. Okay, one second here. Let's break out a calculator and do some math. So $15,000 every day, and there's 365 days a year, and that number is really big. That's oh goodness, is this right? $5.5 million a year. This guy has a system of making $5.5 million a year, right? But for whatever reason, instead of just going off and making his $5.5 million a year, he's not happy with that. He's going to reach out to strangers on the internet and ask them for a few $100s to invest in this idea, right? But he can make 5.5 million just on his own. But no, that's not enough for him. He needs to go reach out to other people. So, long story short, right, you can just tell the math of this doesn't work at all. That's an absurd amount of money, and there's no way you can get that kind of daily return. So that's kind of the first test of detecting a scam, right? Do the numbers even make sense? Is this even reasonably possible? And with this example, no, it's not. It's not reasonably possible at all. Some other things to consider. This particular person, quoted in a flat dollars a day / week that you could potentially earn. Some people might quote it as a daily interest rate or weekly interest rate. And if they do that, it's also a big red flag, because why would you quote an interest rate or a percent return on a daily or weekly basis? Again, that's insane. I did the math in a previous episode, how to avoid scams, which you should listen to now. But the other aspect too that's concerning is just this promise of a return in general, right? Somebody with an actual investment idea, right, might give you an expected return. You could say that a particular stock has an expected return of 10%, right? It's not a guaranteed return, not at all, right? The stock can go up, it can go down. But on average, every given year, it will have a expected return, right? It's return on average for a 1 year period of time. So if somebody guarantees a return, I think it's also generally a red flag. There are some situations in which an organization might guarantee you a return, perhaps something like a life insurance company or something may have a return that is guaranteed by a company, but they definitely won't advertise that as being risk-free, right? They might also advertise it as not having any market risk, but returns from a life insurance company have risk too. It's just a different kind of risk. So all things to consider. in should I trade, should I invest in this idea that some stranger on the internet has told me about. And I think that's perhaps another red flag, right? Who is this person to you and why are they giving you investment advice? In general, I think you shouldn't trust strangers on the internet for investment advice. If I'm a stranger on the internet to you, well, I guess that puts me in kind of a funny spot. But then again, I don't give investment advice in a strict sense of the word, right? I'm just talking about general information, talking about my own experiences, right? But I definitely am not like qualified in that sense, I think, to give advice. And in fact, I don't think anyone is qualified in a sense to give specific advice on a podcast. This is a one-way method of communication. I can't get feedback from you. And in a sense, I can. You can reach out to me on Twitter or Instagram or however you want to reach the show. And I might try to share your question and my answer with everyone. So this is all a very roundabout way of saying to this particular person that reached out to me, I think what you're doing is a scam. And if you have someone that reaches out to you with some sort of investing idea, with some crazy type of return, feel free to link this episode of the show with them and see what they think about that and see if they have a nice answer for why their returns are so high and why they're giving investing advice to strangers on the internet. Thanks for listening to today's episode of the show. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a use for this episode because I know I do. I get so many offers for all sorts of garbage, so maybe I'll get some views out of it. All right, thanks again. Have a great week or month. And as always, stay frugal.